Kang the Conqueror's armada of equipment and paraphernalia is among the most advanced in the Marvel Universe, outclassing some of the most technologically equipped heroes and villains of all time. Using tech from not only his home timeline thousands of years in the future, but neighboring realities as well, Kang can build an incredibly versatile array to help him in his conquests, with some variants conquering timelines with entire armies at their backs. In the recently released Quantumania trailer, we may actually also get to see one of these armies. However, we also got a glimpse at what might prove to be one such artifact pulled straight from the comics. So, stick with us today, watchers of the Marvel Multiverse, and let's dive into the tool known as the Light of Century Sphere, what the sphere can do, why Kang needs it, and what he might plan to do with it, as well as how it might tie into the future and the past of the MCU. The Light of Century Sphere is a gilded orb of energy which allows Kang to tap into the fabric of the time stream, essentially acting as a power source for his time machines, which of course we know will be playing a major role in Quantumania, as apparently the time chair is something that has been stolen away from Kang. This orb is perhaps the most vital component of his time-traveling capabilities, and some variants of Kang and the character rely solely on their Light of Century Sphere to traverse the multiverse itself. But this is not the only property of the orb. The orb can not only transport Kang himself around the time stream, but can actively pull and displace individuals from various points on the timeline itself, even if the orb itself is not currently residing in the era or timeline in question. This allows Kang to basically abduct various individuals from elsewhere on the timeline, and in the MCU, this might extend to the multiverse as well, depending on how faithfully this item is adapted to Quantumania. It was used to pull the Avengers into Kang's home time, and was able to hold Tony Stark captive while they mounted their rescue, showcasing that it's more than just a simple time machine. On top of this, it's said to be an incredibly durable and nigh indestructible machine, withstanding several time storms and incursions alike, all while remaining intact and able to continue its objective even after entire timelines have been ravaged around it, making this one of the only items in the Marvel Comics to ever survive the complete collapse and annihilation of a universe by an incursion. Since it's basically impossible to destroy, it makes sense that the Avengers would have to find some alternative way to stall Kang's ability to invade the multiverse, which may have actually been the case up until now, but more on that in just a moment. In the Quantumania trailer, we see Kang loading what appears to be the Light of Century Sphere into a device, presumably related to his time chair, which might mean he's restoring his previous power to his new machine. With the aid of recent leaks, we have been able to piece together parts of the Quantumania plot, and with this inclusion, it seems as if we might have a few more details to add. Minor spoilers will follow. The leaks claim that Kang's time chair was stolen and hidden away from him, trapping him within the quantum realm, unable to escape, and many sources point to Janet Van Dyne as the culprit of stealing Kang's time chair. Essentially, Janet came to learn of several Kangs that used the quantum realm to travel and sabotage this particular iteration in order to save some innocent timelines from his conquests, with many stating that this is one of the more dangerous variants of Kang, some already dubbing him Warrior Kang. We have covered this theory in more depth over in our video detailing why Kang is now trapped in the quantum realm, so for a more thorough breakdown of this idea, be sure to check out that video. Anyway, for now though, let's stick with the basic premise that the leaks allege, which is that Kang will commission Scott Lang to steal the chair back, presumably by holding Cassie as a hostage until Scott delivers on his promise. This would send Scott and Janet on a mission to correct what Janet previously did to stop Kang, and he could still have the Light of Century Sphere without a way to use it. If this is the case, then the separation of the chair and the sphere might have been why he is unable to use it and use his time travel equipment up until he gets his chair back, as they need to be paired together in order to be functional, much like a battery of sorts. In the trailer, we see that Kang is in possession of the Light of Century Sphere, and if he is powering up his escape route, then it might indicate his imminent arrival in the mainline universe, and his escape from the quantum realm. It's also important to note that the leaks may be incomplete, and there could actually be more to the story than we were previously led to believe. Theoretically, it's possible that Scott Lang isn't actually hunting the chair itself, but is instead searching for the Light of Century Sphere at Kang's behest, which might have been how this Kang was sabotaged to begin with. Kang the Conqueror is an undeniable genius, inheriting his intelligence from Reed Richards himself, and he is among the most intelligent individuals in all of Marvel Comics. If the chair itself was stolen, then there might be a way to rebuild key components with the resources Kang has around him, including the entirety of Krylar's civilization, In fact, we see several ships moving around throughout the quantum realm, and thanks to Endgame, we know that this could result in time travel if it is navigated properly. It doesn't seem unreasonable to conclude that Kang could have taken one of these ships, ventured into the quantum realm, and came out on the other side where he had access to another time chair, be it on another timeline or of his own universe. If, however, the stolen artifact was incredibly unique, such as the sphere, and irreplaceable, then it's much more understandable as to why he so desperately needs Ant-Man to steal it for him and why he might be trapped here in the quantum realm. And perhaps there is only a single sphere and multiple time chairs mean nothing without a power source. While this is speculative, it makes sense that this Light of Century sphere will be the focal point of Scott's heist, and potentially not the chair itself. But again, this is all entirely dependent on how the leaks turn out. But now, my friends, I would love to hear what you think. What are your thoughts on this machine or this item that can essentially survive incursions? Do you think that this is the actual item that Scott Lang has been hired by Kang to retrieve? And do you think that Kang has access to his actual time machine or his time chair and simply needs his sphere back? As always, my friends, thank you so much for watching and continuing to support the channel. Hit that subscribe button to assemble and join our team, and I hope that you have a great day.